Fillies and gentle colts, I welcome you back to Kage's domain. And I gotta tell you, I had a lot of fun making that April Fool's Day video. Fun fact, I've never actually done an April Fool's Day prank before, so it was kind of I figured this was as good a time as any to do it. Reception's been generally positive, so I'm glad you guys were able to get a chuckle out of it. I know I enjoyed making it. But I know you guys have been looking forward for the next video in the sequence here, so we're going to go ahead and continue with our wizard playthrough for patch 15 in Diablo 3. Alright, so we were able to make it all the way here into Cathedral level 4. So we're going to find the Skeleton King and take him out. And of course, at the beginning of the video, as always, going to have a little bit of this lag as it starts caching everything, and that'll of course get better. And just from here you can kind of see where this wonderful rune for shock pulse explosive bolts is working out very nice for taking out targets that are coming at me, multiple targets at a time. So while I normally don't like the skill, as I've said before, in this instance, it can work. My build is generally designed to be close range, so it gives me just additional AoE to put out there. But as you can see, you really kind of have to play with it. You have to make sure it's going to hit. And of course that means getting up close. This is obviously not a ranged skill, but you know, if you wanted to, you could try, you know. See, look, miss. Hey, there we go. Doesn't have quite enough range to get those guys. This is a very short range build. I mean, this is not going to be optimal for fighting, say, Leoric. Getting in close to a boss that swings a massive mace, probably generally not a good idea unless you want your face pounded in. Especially since Leoric's mechanic is basically the fact that he takes a wide swing, it's telegraphed, and it pretty much tells you, get the heck out of the way. Getting in close is kind of a counter to that. You usually want to kind of stay away. Of course, melee classes can do it. I could probably do it with the wizard, just get in close, pound him with a few close range skills. Of course, melee classes have a bit more resilience to getting hit in the face. You know what I think I really like about this whole Diamond Skinned and Sleet Storm combo? It gives me a vibe of like if I was playing Iceman or something. Because you think about it, I come in, it's the ice around me, and granted it's a diamond skin, but when you think about it, it almost looks like an ice shell. Kind of just fits the motif. Kaboom! A masterwork crossbow. How much is that? 15 too. Ooh, I'm gonna hold on to that. I think Demon Hunter might like that. You know, it's really a shame we only get up to level 13 in this beta. There's so many builds. I would love to kind of see more. I really haven't spoiled a lot of the in-game builds and runes for myself. I have a rough idea what a lot of them are, but I have not put a lot of major detail into seeing exactly how they work. I kind of want to be able to play with them when I get them and experiment there. Just to kind of, like I said, give me something to look forward to, you know, without knowing in advance. I mean, I could always kind of go in here and just go through them. Of course, even doing that, seeing the skill for the first time is usually a little bit different than just reading about it. Because sometimes you can read a skill and not always get the full picture. I felt that way about the Witch Doctor, honestly. I read a lot of the Witch Doctor's skills and abilities, and I didn't quite get it. He was my least favorite class for a long time because of that. And then I played him and realized how intuitive it actually was. Oh, hello. A wand of 11.2. Not bad. What's the damage? 6 to 10 compared to 11 to 13. Problem is, I think the fire damage on that will offset this here. Well, let's take a look. I'm at 18.67. 18.81. The eyes have it. I am a wizard that finally has a wand. Hold on. Celebratory cast. We're gonna do it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's sexy. So I'm finally casting with the right kind of weapon. But hey, since someone asked about it, let me do this real quick. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I couldn't hold the orb in here almost like it was a quiver. And of course there's the answer to the other question I've seen is, could I just put a quiver on? No, quivers are Demon Hunter only, as I assume they were. Just wanted to be safe that I wasn't just talking out of my rear end. Granted, I typically do that. You know, I come in here, I make this commentary. It's not rehearsed. I have no idea what I'm going to say. There are some times where I come in, I record these things. I have an idea what I want to talk about roughly in regards to a class, especially when a new patch comes out, because I've reviewed the changes of the class. See, this is almost an overkill on the AoE. I don't really even need Ray of Frost at this point because of Shock Pulse. You know what I could do? Let's shift this up because I don't really need this anymore. It was a great, it was honestly a good build here when I had Magic Missile going into, you know, Ray of Frost and Sleet Storm, but now I've got Shock Pulse, which is more of an AoE. Ray of Frost, I really don't need a second AoE, you know. I could do one or the other. So what if I take Shock Pulse, leave that alone, but make Ray of Frost be single target again? Let's try that. Obviously the game is still not wanting to play nice and finish caching its data. One day I shall obtain a second hard drive and stream to that. That might help a bit. It's a little expensive for the drive I want, though. Alright, so go ahead and get in close, kill these guys. Yeah, this kind of works. If I don't want to get in close, I can just use my Ray of Frost. I keep forgetting I have Wave of Force, too. I used to use Wave of Force a lot more. It was a lot stronger in the past, but it's not too bad anymore. I just got used to its damage being bad and stopped using it. It is more of a defensive kind of ability, in my opinion. You know, with the cooldown, and it emanates around you. You know, you can't cast it at a location, so it's one of those things that you really want to have for an emergency situation, I think. But I shouldn't be shy about using it, of course. Like Diamond Skin, it's got a 15-second cooldown. And I've been kind of throwing that out there whenever I want to get in close. 15 seconds is kind of a decent cooldown when you think about it. It's just long enough that you can't really just spam the heck out of it. But it's short enough that if you use it, it won't be long until you get it back. There's so many builds out there. I really wish I could try, you know, short range build, long range builds, mixed builds, offense, defense, avoidance. Hey, let's knock their projectile back, shall we? Let's try it. It completely missed, but that was cool. Hey, hood with attackers take damage. Oh, this one's got more armor. I'll go ahead and keep using it for now. Ooh, let's see if we can get this group here. Should have done this sooner. Come on, guys. Let's play. Over here. See, this will be a great for Sleet Storm, but I got rid of it, so we'll make this work with Shock Pulse. Come on, guys. Warriors, come out and play. Good job, good job. Kaboom! What can I say? Didn't even need Wave of Force. I thought about it. I was sitting there debating for a second. Do I want to use Wave of Force or do I want to use Shock Pulse? And I figured, you know what? Let's just do Shock Pulse. Show it off a bit. Alright. Ooh, back off. The heck? He died a lot quicker than I expected. See, 12.8 I think is what my hand crossbows on my Demon Hunter currently are.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
It's been fun. Seriously, I really liked Blizzard. If you haven't seen them, I recommend you can go to Diablo fans and probably check out what the Blizzard April Fool's jokes were. And they had a few good ones there. An Oregon Trail type game. A Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego is done with Deckard Cain. It's really good stuff. I mean, they're simple little jokes, but it always amuses me. It's like with mine, you know, I was going for something that was kind of halfway there between believable and out of this world. Like, are you crazy? Jeez. See, this may actually get me to start liking Shock Pulse. That AoE on it, was it 10 yards? That's a decent range. And when it overlaps, it's quite a bit of damage. See, even I can like this spell. If I can like it, so can you. And boom, no items. Seriously, I am convinced that destruction from environments, killing monsters with the environment, yields nothing more than health globes and gold. I hope that that doesn't stay, if that's really the case. They still haven't, as far as I know, responded to my post on it, ever since it got moved to the feedback suggestions. I just think it's kind of poor form, you know, to give people an achievement, or, you know, like these massacres, like that's monsters killed in a row, so that's fine. But there's a, you know, the mighty blows and things like that, crushing blows, where you are rewarded for killing groups of monsters, and of course there's pulverizations, which are for killing groups of monsters by the environment. You know, why give you a little a toast and some extra XP or whatever they'll give you, and even make achievements out of it, because there are achievements for killing a lot of monsters from the environment. Bringing down the house, I do believe it's called. Why would you do that and then simultaneously punish someone for using that system? You know, if you're going to reward them with an achievement and make them think it's something good to do, why make it so they don't get anything out of it? It boggles my mind. But hey, you know, Maybe they'll fix it. Or maybe they'll take the suggestion to heart. Maybe I'm just crazy and I just have really bad random luck. Oh, lots of archers here. Let's...
Heal.
Oh. Oh, nightmarish. That's why I couldn't control where I was going. Yeah, I'll just do that.
More arcane power.
That will protect me for a tiny bit. And we're done. Okay, okay. What have we got here? That I'm keeping. That just 'cause. Don't need. I'm pretty much just kind of looking for anything that I might be able to use. 10.8 compared to 11.2, so not bad. 6 to 10. Hey, that's 7 to 11. Slower attack speed, right? Yeah. See, now there's a thought. Slower attack speed, but more damage. The current skills I'm using right now, you know, and I'm considering making a video based solely on how weapons work, dual wielding versus two-handed and all that. To kind of explain things, because I know I've talked about it in several videos, but that means they're not in one centralized place. For someone that has questions about dual wielding and using one-hander, it's kind of hard for them to find, you know, resources on that based on my videos alone. So I'll consider that. I think it might be a good idea. But for now, what I was going to say is my skills right now, the way they are, would benefit from both DPS or raw damage. Ray of Frost, which ticks every so often, is based off of weapon speed. It will give me more ticks the faster my weapon is, which means DPS will directly affect it. Shock Pulse, which is cast over and over again, is the same. However, Wave of Force would benefit more from a high damage weapon with a low attack speed, even if the DPS is not that high. In this case, this Cudgel here, which does less DPS, it has a 7 to 11 range compared to my 6 to 10, which means one more minimum, one more maximum. That would directly impact my Wave of Force, which deals 200% weapon damage as physical. It's a 15-second cooldown. 15-second cooldown means that I'm not going to care what my attack speed is, because it's not going to affect it at all. It's just going to go off every 15 seconds no matter what. Oh gosh, it looks like I might not even get the 10 before Leoric. Gosh, it's kind of a shame this doesn't blow up when hitting an urn or anything like that, isn't it? Oh, that was beautiful. I never thought I would see the day that I like Shock Pulse. I'm sorry, I just didn't. Wave of Force, sure. Shock Pulse, no.
Keep your distance from it. This burden is mine to bear. May death bring peace from your madness.
We have just arrived in Cathedral,
Ooh.
and I must
Didn't realize that book was worth 700 experience points. Most of the other books have been about 120, so it's nice to know that they go up in value. I don't know if it's the book itself that increases it, or it's because of my level. I honestly think that the experience given to me from every book prior to this, prior to the Crypts, has been 120, regardless of my level. So I'm basically thinking that it's the actual book that you find which controls how much experience it's going to have. Yeah, just trying to get a little extra experience from all the destruction, as well as maybe finding monsters that could be hiding. 45% away, so I really don't think I'm going to have any luck. Nope, can't fire just past that yet. I don't think this is giving me experience. I'm looking at my experience bar. Yeah, see, if I get a massacre that's got no XP bonus, then I'm not really getting experience from it. But I gotta admit, you know, I found a good spot to just sit and spam an ability here. I mean, look at this. They're just walking towards it. They're all short-range skeletons. They're not archers, so they can't get me. So, you know, for this event, on higher difficulty levels, it might be a good idea to kind of come up here to a side area. I'll go ahead and I'll stop that. Sorry, guys. It might be good to kind of come up to one of the side areas and clear it out. Just so what you'll do up here, clear it out, clear out the archers that are already here, and then you can use this place as kind of a way to sort them out. You know, they come in, they can't very many fit they all can't fit in this tiny space. So you're basically narrowing it down, you're getting them close together. You can use AoE abilities such as Arcane Orb, or maybe Seismic Slam, or Hammer of the Ancients, because this area is so tight, Hammer of the Ancients would be able to hit, I believe, this entire walkway, especially with the first rune that you get for it. So you could use that as a valid strategy, just kind of move up here, get them to all come at you, get themselves close together, and just take advantage of it. They can't all get past it. This archway is actually narrower than the walkway back here, so you get them here in this archway, and there you go. And just look how they fall. Like dominoes. A little bit of strategy actually goes a long way in this game. It seems kind of mindless hack and slash, and to a degree it is. But there are some things you can do by using the environment and using your skills properly to gain a huge advantage. And I know why they didn't give any experience to those skeletons. It looks like anything that generates monsters doesn't give experience. Although that might not be entirely the case. There were monster generators in Diablo 2 that would spawn a certain number of mummies. I don't know if it was infinite or if it had a number. I don't remember anymore. It's been a while. And I think those might have given experience, and I have gone back and seen old footage that showed a monster generator of that type. It looked like a sarcophagus that was, spouting out zombies. Have no idea if they would also not give experience or not. So far in the beta, everything that can generate monsters, especially if it doesn't ever stop, doesn't give experience. And there are some that do have a finite number of monsters that they spawn. I would have to find one of them and double check. But honestly, for now, I'm just going to assume that if it generates monsters, they're not giving me experience. And not really worth waiting on. Yeah. Please, 35% before Leort. Yeah, right. Not going to happen. Maybe I should have gone through the crypts again. Trying to get the crown, as it were. Alright, this will be fun. This build is a little better for Leoric, honestly, because it gives me the long range of Ray of Frost. So I'm going to keep that. I'm not going to take Arcane Orb. I'm going to use Ray of Frost for the King. I'm going to go ahead and continue to use Shock Pulse with Explosive Bolts for his skeletons. Diamond Skin is proving to be very useful right now, especially because I don't have to hit anything with it. I can just pop it on, pop it on when I need it. Also, because Leoric has a teleport move that does hit pretty hard, I anticipate needing Diamond Skin over Frost Nova. Because if he teleports into me, he's going to hit me, it's going to hurt, and I want to avoid that as much as possible. Especially since I'm doing this without my companion, so I need to make sure I have the right mix of defensive abilities. I can use Wave of Force to keep the enemy away. What I could consider is putting Frost Nova as that second slot here, so that way I have Frost Nova to be able to get away from the minions and Diamond Skin to be able to get away from the king. For now I'm going to go ahead and keep Wave of Force because I believe I can obliterate one pack of his skeletons with that. No, you! Perfect. Ooh, look at that. A lesser health potion. How nice. So I can right click here and choose which one I want. Let's go ahead and slot the lesser one. I'll just have to remember to change it back after it's off cooldown. Alright, I think I'm prepared. Prepared for the death of the king! What, is he sick? No, fool, we're gonna kill him. Simba, too. Say it again. Yes, I'm crazy, I know. Insanity is not something I suffer from, it's something I enjoy every minute of. There we go. Arcane power back. Oh, they blocked that one. But it weakened them enough to be able to continue on like that. There we go. She doesn't slow down very much, does he? Hey, that stopped him in mid-swing. Alright, I'm going to weaken these. Now, the thing to watch out for, listen for the laugh. I mean, there I could see him, but one thing I've noticed when fighting Leoric is if I'm at range and I can't see him, that laugh he does is usually a dead giveaway. See, there it is. He's going to use the ability. I wasn't anticipating him doing it quicker than 15 seconds. And it could be because I was getting too far away from it. There it was. That was last second right there. Yeah, you cannot get away from that. Really? You're just... Really? It's okay. We've got orbs. See, I think where my Demon Hunter had kind of a hard time with this was I didn't really have anything to quickly take out the groups. Demon Hunters at level 13 suffer from a very specific lack of AoE and strong hitting AoE. If I would have had Elemental Arrow, I have a feeling that that would have been no problem at all. Because in this case, really, these skeletons are dying so quickly because of my AoE rune here. He's getting me low, but let's see. If I let him hit me. There. And I'll just grab some orbs. Of course, I could have fought a little longer if I would have remembered my potions. Yes, I'm still going on about that. Du hast mich. Hey, wait a minute. Wait. You guys see this? Did I not? He did not drop a rare. What the hell is this crap? What the... No! That's not cool. That is not cool. Oh. Okay. This is the first time I've seen where I've killed Leoric, and the first time I've killed him, as you saw, I got the achievement. I'll even pull it up here. There's Fall of the Black King right there. I clicked on it. Fall of the Black King Wizard. Just got it. And yet, no rare. That's never happened before. Maybe it's just a really low chance that he won't drop something the first time you kill him. I assume that he always would, because the rares you find off of him when you first kill him only have 4 magical properties, whereas ones you can find on the field under normal monsters usually have 6. I'm saddened, honestly, by this. But look what I did find, though. A magic staff of 14.3 DPS. Very nice. Even better than the crossbow. Not only that, but it's 11 to 17 damage. I lose the orb and the orb's properties, so there you go. It's kind of a choice between the... This is another thing to consider with weapons. Always with procs. Always. If you've got a really good proc, then, you know, if you lose a little bit of damage, it might be worth it, really. So I'm going to... Hey, look at that. That's got experience. I'm going to wear that because I need to now gain some experience for you guys. I didn't. Look at that. Did not hit 10. So I'm going to hit 10 right away on my next video. So I'll do that. But I definitely want the experience gear because it was honestly a slogfest for my Demon Hunter. Did not really get enough experience, and he was getting weary. So I'll go ahead and use this. Plus 1 to 3. Let's take a look. 18.81. 2020. Very nice. And even then, the raw damage is kind of more of what I'm looking at. See, that's a 6 to 10. Combine it with this, that's more of a 7 to 12. And this is 11 to 17. The 1 to 3 damage, I do believe, is shown in the 11 to 17. I do believe that 1 to 3 is not in addition to that. I believe that's already accounted for the damage. For example, look at the increased attack speed by 2%. It's a 1.02 attack per second. 1.02 is a really odd number for a weapon to just proc. I bet you the staff only has a natural 1.0 and the 2% is indicated by the 0.02. So that to me is enough proof to say that that plus 1 to 3 is already baked into the base damage. So this staff actually would only be a 10 to 15. 14, sorry. A little off. I'm not quick at it. I'm good at it. I'm not quick at it. So already baked in. That's nice to see. What am I losing here on attack speed? That's a little less than 1.5 attacks a second, and that's just 1 attack per second. So we'll take a look. So you can see, obviously shorter, or obviously longer between casts, but each cast is going to hit more often. Now with Ray of Frost, honestly, this ability, Ray of Frost, I think would, it benefits from DPS. Obviously it benefits from DPS. But you won't really notice it as much because the beam will do constant damage and you'll see monsters' hit points constantly going down. One thing that I will benefit from the slower attack speed, though, is if you look at my Arcane Power Orb, it doesn't drain as quickly when channeling, simply because of the slower attack speed. And it hits harder over time, so that's great. Wave of Force will obviously benefit from this greatly, so I kind of like that. Not only that, but I kind of like the... Look at that, got a nice little magic staff on me. Does she have any really neat attack animations? She has one more attack animation than she did when she was swinging the bow. That still amuses me. I'm sorry. Alright, I've been blabbling on around here too long. Sorry about that, guys. So, at this point in the game, it is time to go over my impressions of leveling with the wizard. Let me tell you, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did this. I knew I had to because the skills had been changed around. So far, level 1 to 9 feels good. You have Magic Missile is a nice strong spell, especially with Charge Blast. Shock Pulse is nice AoE. Ray of Frost can be single target or AoE based. Even when it's AoE, it does more damage than any other AoE I've got. Arcane Orb is still a favorite of mine. Hits hard, hits in a very big radius. These are really good skills. Frost Nova and Diamond Skin. I honestly did not think before I would use Diamond Skin. It's one of those cooldowns. Like I said, when I see a cooldown like that, I tend to forget about using it and saving it for emergencies. And in this case, I specifically wanted to try and use it more often, especially in conjunction with Sleet Storm, and I'm glad I did. It shows that it can be used repeatedly in combat situations. You really don't need to save it too much. And honestly, the difference between Nova and Skin, they're very different playstyles. Nova will allow you to kind of get away, giving you that 3-second stun, and Skin just absorbs the damage. It really depends on your preference there. And of course, Wave of Force, which is a nice big blast of AoE. Honestly, it feels good, and I'm really glad they changed it up because, I'm going to be honest with you, it's feeling kind of weird. I have been kind of settling on the Demon Hunter for a while now, just because I kind of like the playstyle, but I'm almost starting to lean towards the Wizard again. And that is kind of fitting considering that my Mage is my main in my World of Warcraft. But what I like about the Wizard is so far, just the choices I could get. Ray of Frost and Sleet Storm I really think has been the thing that's making me decide to lean towards Wizard again, because that is just a really nice combination of abilities. The Wizard also, out of all the classes, has the most skills, meaning there's far more combinations to try. I'm not entirely sold yet. I still might do Demon Hunter, but who knows? I think I'm not going to know what class I'm going to play until I actually install the game, and then I stare at the character creation screen for about 3 hours. Really, they're that close to me. They all feel really good. This leveling's been great. I'll go ahead and get to level 13 because I didn't get to level 13 last time. I missed out on some skills that I didn't get to try, and I want to be able to get to them. Arcane Torrent specifically, I kind of want to play out with that a bit. I've seen it in practice. It looks pretty cool. Looks like we do get Energy Twister again. That was taken away for a moment, so that's nice to see. Alright. Okay, so that is the Wizard, levels 1 to 9, killing Leoric the Skeleton King. If you've liked the content here, then please feel free to thumb up or down based on your preference. Leave comments and suggestions in the fields below. Also keep in mind, as I mentioned before, I have opened up TheShadowPost at gmail.com. That is TheShadowPost at gmail.com, where you can leave additional feedback, suggestions, or questions, especially if you don't want to put the question out there in public, and I'll try and answer it either way. If you prefer a message back, I can do that, or if you would like a video on it, I can try and do that. Keep in mind, while will be reading everything, sometimes time constraints mean I won't exactly respond right away, if at all, and I do apologize to those of you that I don't get messages back to. Alright, once again, Kage signing out. Thank you very much for watching.